Well, thank y'all for coming in today on this early Friday morning. And my name is Cameron. If you don't know me, Thigpen with Montage Services. What Montage Services is a protection plan. So it's a post-delivery accident protection plan. Is everybody pretty familiarized with?
Except for we call it protection first.
Yes, so we call it protection first. Just, but the company is called Montage, but just kind of ingrain protection first into your brain.
It's private labeled through our first.
So, I'll just jump right into it. So, why a protection plan? For the customer, our commitment that a post-delivery accident or incident occurs in the home, we will clean, repair, or even replace the affected piece. So, after delivery, of course, if somebody has a stain or rip or tear, they place a claim. We were just talking about it with Daryl. Place a claim, or they call us to place a claim, and we will send a technician out and get it repaired for them. So for the store, it's an opportunity to grow sales, mitigate service issues while complementing the customer experience. And of course, this is why y'all are all here for the sales associate. An opportunity to grow their commissions, enhance their personal brand, and set them apart as a trusted advisor. So I'll get into that in more detail in a second, but I'll just touch on it. So why does everybody come into furniture distributors? Well, why do you come to furniture distributors every day? Why do you come to furniture distributors every day?
I work here.
All right, Daryl, why do you come to furniture distributors every day?
Make money, keep that woman happy.
Absolutely. We got a winner. So really, in essence, we all come to furniture distributors to make money, right? So if I was to come to you on the street and I said, hey, Daryl, I can make you $7,000 more a year doing something that you're already doing, would you be excited? Would you say, yeah, that sounds like a good, tell me more, right? I mean, I think that anybody would say, tell me more, right? If I said, well, you get really good at it, then you can make 10,000. You'd be like, well, what you got? What you got? Well, that's what I'm here for, really, in essence, or essential. That if you do the protection plans and you sell them, on average, you can make $7,000 more doing something that you're already doing, right? So that's why I'm here. Put money in your pocket. That's why you're here. Put money in your pocket. So let's keep it simple and let's put some money in your pocket, and I'm here to help you do that. So that's really what the sales associate experiences we're hoping for. So this is really the easiest way to put this whole plan is what they call the 300% rule. So to sell this plan, as long as you're working the 300% rule, you're going to do good. I mean, really. So what is the 300% rule, right? The 300% rule is 100% off of the plan to 100% of your customers on 100% of your product 100% of the time, right? So every customer that comes in, it's hard. I know when you got that bully customer that's giving you a hard time about price, they're giving you a hard time about I want free delivery, and then you get to the counter and they're like, well, I'm not paying sales tax. And you're thinking, I'm going to lose this sale. I'm scared to add anything on. But what I'm telling you is, and you can talk to our service girls, that customer is the customer that needs this plan the most, because that guy is going to be the one that say, I want everything for free. As soon as he gets home, he's going to be the guy that says, I got a problem. That's the guy that you want to sell it to the most. So even with those pain in the butt customers, you got to offer this plan, because I guarantee you it's going to help you down the road. It's going to help the store down the road. It's going to help our customer service girls down the road. And it's also going to help that customer when he has an issue that's not covered by the regular manufacturer warranty. He's going to be covered too. It's going to help everybody. So even that customer, 100% of the customers, 100% of the time, if you got an accent chair, people are like, oh, well, they don't need one on an accent chair. Yes, they do. Promise you. The accent chair gets sit on probably the most, because everybody comes to your living room, they see this big sectional, and they don't want to sit on the sectional with you. I mean, I know your friends, they love you. I'm sure my friends love me, but they usually sit on the accent chair, right? So that's going to get used the most. So even the accent chair. So 100% of the product and 100% of the time. So every single time. I mean, that's the biggest thing with this protection plan, is that you offer it 100% of the time. And I mean, if you talk to people that have done this furniture sales for a long time, and they'll tell you, they'll be like, hey man, what's going on with your protection sales? What's going on? I just gave this presentation last Friday in Havelock, and this new girl was in there. I'm not gonna pick on anybody, but so I gave my presentation. I go over and I meet with Bill for a good 2 hours, and I get done, and she's over there boasting about this sale that she just gave, and it was an accent chair. I guess that's why I was brained it in my brain. So I went out and said, "Well, did you get the protection?" She goes, "I didn't offer it." Like, we just went over this, you know. I didn't say that to her, but we just went over it. You know what I mean? So,
All right, thanks, sir.
100% of the time. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Make sure you don't discriminate against your customer. Every single customer needs it, even the pain in the butt ones, but on all the product. And I mean, that's really the simple thing is to offer it. You just got to offer it. If you don't offer it, you have zero chance of selling it. So this kind of gives you an idea of what Protection First is. We're a growth-focused partnership driving profits. I got 12 years of underwriting experience. They're customer-focused, so they got low denial rates. Same coverage offering across all sales ticket levels. So like I said, if you have an accident chair, you can sell on accident chairs. They cover up to $30,000 worth of furniture. So if they're buying a whole house full of furniture, then it's covered. So, and then they have training strategy customized for your organization. That's me. It comes in, helps to do the training today, what I'm doing today. So, how do you sell it? They go with
Also
this.
commercial. Commercial.
Commercial?
You can do rental.
No, not on rentals.
Oh, you changed it? Because you said one time we can do the rentals, but it doesn't cover the pets.
I'll follow up with that. We
Yeah.
cover pets, but
There's a rental program they
Yeah.
have. We don't carry it.
I don't think that
okay.
they carry the rental.
Yeah.
Okay, we carried out when Mark did it. He did it covered everything except for the pets.
We had a separate rental.
Did we?
It was a
Okay.
separate rental
All right.
option. And I think you can still get it, but it's
No,
not.
it's not under.
It's
your-
not our regular stuff.
Okay. Because Mark said it was like pretty much the same thing, except they don't cover pets.
Yeah, there's a separate.
Uh-huh.
Just like there's another offering that has like seam protection that we don't get. There's also one for rental property.
I had a lady call
And
me
I'll
the
go
other day.
over everything that's covered here in a minute, but
Okay.
yes, as far as I know, that there's not covered for rentals,
Okay.
especially around the beach area. But if you want to call Bill and put a plug in for me, I'd welcome it. So this is what they consider the EASY program. So EASY, EASY, early introduction. Shortly after the greeting, plant the seed right away. Give the customer the freedom to choose the color and fabric they really want. A, it's about them. Qualify your customers. Find out who they are and what they care about. S, sorry y'all, right? Show value. Share the benefits of the plan that tailor to your customer. And why? Your endorsement. Advise and recommend the customer is looking to you for advice and information. So that's the easy.
What was the why?
Your endorsement. So the main thing is, and everybody will tell you this has sold these programs, is the early introduction. It's all about planting that seed early. I interviewed this guy back in when I was manager of Ashley Home Store, and he was a salesperson that always sticks with me. I asked him why I should hire him, and he said, "Well, because I'm what they call the Velvet Hammer." I was like, "The Velvet Hammer?" It just stuck with me. I was like, "Well, what does that even mean?" He said, "Well, at the end, I don't close people like a sledgehammer. I've done all my work, and so at the end, it's just a velvet hammer. It's a tap, and they close themselves." I was like, "That's pretty good." So that come back to the early introduction. If you introduce this program early in your sales pitch, at the end, it's the velvet hammer. At the end, they pretty much close themselves. You've done the work. You've presented the program. You've talked to them about it. I've had so many people come up to me at the end because I did this for 15 years. Or I've done this for 15 years, and at the very end, I've sprinkled it in, and I've forgotten. I was like, okay, this is what we got. And, oh, did you put the protection plan in? I was like, oh God, yeah, let me put that in. And that's what you want. You want to do the work early on. I'm telling you, if you do the work early on, you sprinkle it in, you don't have a hard close. Now, I'm not saying you can't close it at the end like that with a hard close. You can do that, and it's better to do that than not offer at all. But for me, in my experience, what works best is when you sprinkle it in throughout your presentation, and at the end, they'll close themselves. I mean, it's really, if you've had any experience in doing this, that's what's worked best for me. And I'm sure that would be what would work best for you. So when you're talking to them, it's just like any kind of sales presentation. When I'm talking to a customer and I'm talking to them about this sectional, and I'm leading them, bringing them to this sectional, I'm saying, hey, I'm talking to them about whatever they got going on or whatever I can relate to. If they got kids, we're talking about kids. If they, fished, we're talking about fishing. If they, whatever that I'm relating with, I'm talking to them about that until we get to this sectional. And then I say, hey, what do you think about this sectional? Well, it's not the right color. Well, let's just sit on it. And then I sit them down and I start talking about product. And that's when you want to sprinkle it in. Well, what do you not like about this sectional? Because you didn't like it when you want to, is it comfortable? Yeah, it's comfortable. I just don't like the color. It's too light, it's too dark, whatever. Or my kids, that's when you sprinkle it in. You say, well, we got a protection plan that will cover all that. You don't nail them with it right then and say, well, they don't like it. It's harder for you to sell something they don't like to it. So then you pull them up. Well, let's go look at something else. And I'll tell you more about that plan as we go. Then you go on and you just sprinkle it in, just add it a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And at the end, they'll close themselves, I promise you. So that's the early introduction. It's easy. All right, I'm getting long-winded, I'm sorry. Remove the fear of buying. Introduce the plan early, plant the seed. Is the consumer willing to live with compromised furniture? And this is where I always did my testimonials. So testimonials is, planting the seed earlier, and testimonials is what sold it best for me. So living with compromised furniture, I had a story for every single piece that I sold. I had a story for a sectional. I had a customer that bought a reclining sectional and the wedge got damaged. And so the whole sectional was fine, but the wedge was damaged beyond repair. They called me up, they had a problem with it. We sent a technician out, couldn't get it fixed. The whole section was discontinued. They couldn't get the wedge. So Montage, or Protection First, came in and replaced the whole sectional. And I was like, well, they called me like, well, this is great, what do I do? Well, they gave them a credit for the sectional. They came in, they picked out another one. We brought it out to them. And they're like, well, they said I can keep the sectional. What am I going to do with it? I said, well, this was like 10 years ago. Craigslist was really big then. Still kind of is. But I was like, well, put it on Craigslist. See what you sell it. And so they put it on Craigslist, sold it for $450. They came in and they bought the cocktail tables that went with it. So, and the only reason I knew the whole story is because I came in and bought the cocktail tables. So it's these testimonials when you're talking to somebody, it's huge. And you have to have one, or I had to have one, for everything that I sold. So, a dining room table. I remember the lady that spilled, she had a $3,000 Samuel Lawrence dining room table. And she had one of those candles in the middle of it. She lit the candle, she forgot about it. The candle dripped over. The hot wax got on the center of the table, and it left a ring in the center of the table. Discarded it. She called me up. She was like, "What? I can't stand it." This is the one that didn't buy the warranty, the protection plan. She called me up. She said, "I can't stand it. She was OCD. Every time I walk in the room, I see that." And she didn't get the warranty, or the protection plan, so it didn't get covered. And there was nothing I could do. It's not a manufacturer warranty, it was an accident. So she was real hot about it. So it works both ways, but if you have a story, a testimonial for that, then you're like, don't let that be you. You're buying a $3,000 table. You're looking at a $300 investment. Break it down by month, how much it costs, like $2 a month to cover this table. Why not get it? That's like a cup of coffee. So I'm getting long-winded, sorry. Get to know your customer. Find out who they are, what they care about. Do they have kids, grandkids, pets? What room will the furniture be used in? How will the furniture be used? Why are they replacing their current furniture? What do they expect the new furniture to look like in 3 to 5 years? The customer's response to these questions will determine how you will present the plan. Show value. Have them ask, how is the plan useful to me? When was the last time someone spilled on the couch? Do you like pizza? Customize the plan to each customer based on what you learned about them. So again, I think in any kind of sales presentation on any kind of furniture, you want to get to know the customer. Based on what the customer's telling you and the questions you ask is what you're going to sell them, right? If you're asking them about this brown sofa and they're not want brown, they want something light, the chances of you selling the brown sofa is going to be slim, right? So you're going to pick them up and take them to a lighter color sofa. So get to know your customer. I mean, that's just in any kind of sales process, and then customize a plan around them. Advise and recommend protecting your investment. Our furniture comes with a 5-year protection plan. Don't ask at the end of the sale. Recommend at the beginning. You are the furniture industry expert. Consumers look to you for information and advice. Inform the customer they need to take advantage of the opportunity. Okay, so this gets back to what I was talking about at the beginning. Sell one plan a day. So this is as an average sales ticket of $1,200. Protection retail of $149 is a $30 commission. One plan per day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks is $600 a month. That's $7,200 a year. And that's just average. That's if you sell one plan a day. And if you're doing $1,200, I know Walt has days where he does $10,000. So, one plan a day, you can do way more than $7,200. I mean, Walt can be a testament to this. How much money have you made off these protection plans over the years?
Tons.
I mean, he doesn't even have a dollar figure so much. So what I'm trying to say is it's simple math, and just keeping it on top of your mind and presenting this early on will make you money, and that's why we're all here. Again, we're all coming to this store. Let's be selfish a little bit to make money. I know you love Jill and you love Bill a whole lot, but you don't come in here on your days off to hang out with them, do you?
Unless you got food.
Unless there's smashed waffles involved.
And there.
Or I'm coming to talk to you. So anyway, make it selfish. The more selfish you are about it, hey, the happier I am. Got a customer?
Yeah.
So she got paperwork.
Is it a pickup? Do you want me to see?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that looks like a solicitor.
To go over what we cover. So this is for the plan that y'all have installed here at Furniture Distributors. We cover breakage of frames, panels, or springs. And I'm gonna give y'all one of these presentations so you got all this, so you don't have to write all of it down. Should have probably told you that at the beginning. But I appreciate y'all writing it down. Breakage of sleepers, recliners, lifting, heating and or vibrating mechanisms, failure of integral electrical components, that's a tongue twister, lifting or incident-specific chipping of veneers or laminates exposing the substrate, warping, loss of silvering of mirrors, all types of stains, liquid marks or rings, household heat marks, damage. We cover punctures, rips or burns, gouges, dents, scratches, or chips penetrate the finish, exposing the substrate. Damage caused by nail polish remover, checking, cracking, bubbling, or peeling of finish caused by specific incident. So anything that's an accident, it's a long list, but I'll give you all this. So as long as you want to pitch this as an accident plan. They're not going to cover just if they got something accessory and they're just moving it around a lot and it's,
Surface scratch.
yeah, they're not going to cover surface scratches. But if you got somebody that sits on it with, a knife or screwdriver in their pocket and gouges across the cocktail table, that's an accident. They're going to cover it. So this is an accident plan. Just keep that in mind.
Something that goes through the first substrate of the product.
Yeah.
Down to the white meat.
Was that?
Down to the white meat.
All right, we'll just get that part. Getting kind of long-winded. So, favorable terms and conditions. This is important. So there's a 30-day reporting period from notice of issues. Make sure that you tell your customer. As soon as they notice it, they need to call, go online, fax, email, whatever they got to do. They need to go ahead and process the claim. Matching pieces, replacement options on discontinued product, like I was saying. So say if you got a sofa love seat and a recliner and the love seat is damaged and they can't fix it. And it's discontinued. Well, they'll replace the whole sofa love seat and recliner. So they'll give you for whatever the price that you paid. So they'll give you a store credit for the amount that you paid for it if they cannot get the matching piece if it's discontinued. So, planned sales up to 5 days after furniture delivery. So this is something that was new. They didn't have offer this when I was selling it. So say that the customer gets it, they get it home, and they've thought about it. They're like, well, you know what? We should probably get that protection plan. You can still sell it, or you can call them up. You know, that'd be really good if you called them up and said, hey, you know, how did your delivery go? Just want to check in. You know, remember, I'm the one that sold you the furniture. I just want to make sure everything was smooth, everything was good. Hey, what do you think about that protection plan? Do you still want to add that in? We still got time. So you got 5 days after the delivery, not after sale, because, you know, right now with the crazy times that we're in, it might be 6 weeks before they get the furniture. It's 5 days after it's delivered, not after the sale. So keep that
So
in
it's
mind.
based on our finalized date.
Yes.
So if they take a little while to finalize Pro First or financing, it's whatever the finalized date of the ticket for us.
After it's been delivered, from the delivery date. 5 days after the
From the
delivery
delivery date.
date. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, most time there'll be a delivery date up in the top corner.
Okay.
Yeah, to the customer's house. That makes sense. Not come to me afterwards.
Does it have to be on the same ticket?
But if you're separating the tickets because you're trying to get paid on the furniture,
No, let's say it got finalized and we sold the protection first. 5 days later, it would already be finalized, or even day 4. The ticket would be finalized, so we'd have to do a new ticket.
just do an A ticket on it. I'm sure as long as it
Okay.
corresponded with the normal ticket, because you do an A ticket anyways for protection, or no?
It goes on the ticket, the
Yeah.
original ticket, but in that case, it would already be finalized.
I'm sure that if you did an A ticket and it had the same number, sales ticket number on it, just with the A at the end, it would be covered.
Okay.
So where am I at? The ability to sell plans on stain and damage free floor samples, so you can sell it on the floor samples on the store.
Now, I have a question, because on ours, it says floor sample sold as is.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of it might already have some damage on it.
It's covered as long as it needs to be ability to sell plans on stain and damage free floor samples. So
Okay.
if it's got stain on it already as it goes out, I would still sell it on it, but you wouldn't be able to cover that stain. Just be like, hey, this
Sometimes
is
we'll put an annotation on it, you know, damaged right hand corner, 'cause that's what we do sometimes, damaged right hand corner.
It won't cover the problem that already existed. It'll
Right.
cover a new problem.
Right, yeah.
So the exclusions, built up of stains or damages that is not, this is not a cleaning service, I guess is what they're trying to say. So if it's, you know, normal wear and tear or built up, then they're not going to cover that. Accumulation, damage from abuse, damage covered under homeowner's policy or the manufacturer, mold, odor, medical, normal wear and tear, foam resiliency, cracking and peeling, splits on leather, surface scratches. I'll give you all this so you'll have it, but that's the exclusions. You know, accidents happen. Thankfully, we got you covered. So they got a telephone number where you can register your plan or file a claim. I'll give you all this information. Got a telephone number, email, and a website, so the customer can go on and get the claim process started.
Just because you might have missed it, you have up to 5 days after delivery to sell it.
For the protection plan,
Yeah.
okay.
And so they are a 5-star rating on Google reviews. They got over 1,722 reviews. Let's see, I'll just kind of get through fast. Coverage or claim questions. We don't need it. We are careful. You know, this kind of breaks it down. Like I was saying, you could break down the plan by month. So if you got like $100 plan, you're $1.66 a month. If you got a $300 plan, you're $5 a month to cover all your furniture for $300. A $500 plan is $8.33 a month. So if you're one of those finance whizzes, you can use that kind of way to sell it. Let's see, kind of run it over. So all stains, permanent marker stains on the leather. There's some pictures of some things that are covered. Where a kid obviously took the permanent marker onto the leather, it was covered. And this kind of comes back to testimonials. Punctures and tears, you can see here. I see this all the time in my industry since I work for Ashley. This happens all the time from manufacturers, from dealers that know how to open furniture, that should know better of how not to do this. This is a razor knife straight down. So there's customers that are picking up furniture and going home and opening it up with a razor knife. If they're doing it at the dealers, because I'm replacing this stuff all the time with parts, they're gonna do this at home too, and this will be covered. So you can see that's, if anybody sends me a picture, I see these pictures all the time. You know that was a razor knife. It's pretty obvious. So covered, customer's brother was removing the shipping plastic with a knife and accidentally cut the fabric on the front of the arm. Part was ordered and tech installed. So what they would do is they would call us, as a manufacturer. Sorry, I work for Ashley too, but they would call, the dealer would call me, or Montage would call me and say, hey, get me this part. They'd send that part in, and that would be normal for a customer, but the customer would have to install it. With the protection plan, they'll send a technician out and install it. Now, I don't know how good y'all are with installing stuff like this, but if somebody told me I had to install that on an arm, and I've been doing furniture for 15 years, I'd be like, you're crazy, because I ain't no way I could do it. But they'll send a technician out and get it installed for them. So if that makes sense. Burns, customer reported a burn on their sofa, hot coal, part was ordered, customers able to install themselves. So that's kind of the presentation that I got put together. These are a lot of testimonials. The testimonials for I got all the information on the back. I'm gonna give all of y'all one of these. Gives you my information on the back here, my telephone number, sales support and everything from Montage. So in conclusion with this, now that we're getting kind of towards the end, remember the 300% rule. Offer it to all your customers on all your products all of the time. If you just do that one thing, I guarantee you'll be making $7,200 a year extra if you just do that one thing. And what helped me sell it, this is my personal experience, is the early introduction and the testimonials. If you got some testimonials, I promise you, if you don't have any testimonials, you can call Dee. You can leave here right now and you can call Dee, and Dee will have a slew of testimonials that she can give you. I mean, I had this presentation in Havelock last Friday, and she was just spitting them out left and right. So that tells you that this plan is a good plan. It can make you a lot of money, and that's what we're all here for. So that's all I got, and I appreciate y'all coming in today.
Until you get some testimonials for yourself, borrow them from other people. Borrow them from the things that he has in the back of that handout. Talk to other, ask our customer service, can you tell me a couple testimonials I can have in my back pocket to use till I have my own? That'll help a lot with it. And how to handle what are some of the common objections you guys get from why somebody doesn't want Pro First?
The main one is that their kids are gone and that they take care of their furniture that they have. So
the thing that I love about sales, let me ask you this. Okay, so when does the selling process start?
Begin.
When?
At the beginning.
Do you get an answer?
No, when you first greet the customer.
Jill, do you want to chime in?
Before they even come in here, we're selling them on if they won't even shop here.
All right, so for me,
Advertisement.
the selling process starts when the customer says no. When the customer says no. Because all up until then, you're just an order taker. If they came in here and they, like at McDonald's, and said, I want a hamburger and cheese, you give them a hamburger and cheese. If they come in and you're trying to tell them about the protection plan and they say no, that's when you get excited. And that's when you want to overcome those objections. So, when a customer says that to me, testimonials, boom. So, oh, it's so funny. Miss Johnson told me that exact same thing. She told me that exact same thing. Guess what? They spilled wine, nail polish, whatever, on their sofa. Thank God they got the warranty or the protection plan because it was covered. They called us up, replaced it, done. Always go back to those testimonials. For me, they overcome just about every objection.
Mm-hmm. How do you handle the objection it's too expensive or it pushes them over their budget?
Well, that's if you go back to the monthly rate, that would overcome that real quick. It's $2 a day, a month, $2 a month. If you spend more than $2 a day, I guarantee you every morning on the way to work, getting coffee at McDonald's, Burger King, $2 a month.
So you're just taking the amount that you're charging for Pro First, dividing it by 5 years, and then breaking it down by month.
Mm-hmm. And that's in there. That's all in there.
Okay.
And so, I mean, you're like, you know, I think it was, in there was for a $500 protection plan, you're $8 a month. $8 a month, 500, and a lot of your average is $149 protection plan. So that's $1.50 a month.
So basically, when you think you're in your transaction, you're only just beginning, because that's when you put in the protection plan, and you're not trying to be in a hurry. Whether they say yes or no, you're opening the door to every no that they have.
Yeah,
so
it's
that could take.
I love it in any selling. I mean, that's what you're here for. That's what you should take pride in. You're a salesperson. You're not an order taker. You're used to taking no. And so when they tell you no, that's when I get excited. I'm like, okay, game on. So this is when I step up. This is when I do my job. That's what I'm here for. That's why they got me here, because I'm good at my job. I'm good at sales. So I should be used to somebody telling me no. And that's when I get excited and say, okay, how am I going to overcome this objection? So the more objections you get, the better you'll get at overcoming them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Right.
you should challenge those objections. Be like, okay, all right, I got to know. I may not have won this one. How do I win it next time? You know, that's
right.
that's with any part of sales. You know, that's with anything. That's why you're here. That's why you're not an order taker. That's not why you're not working at McDonald's. You know, that's why you're a salesperson. So for me, that's when the selling process starts. When they tell me no, I'm like, okay. And I'm not going to win every one, but I'm going to learn from it, right?
Right.
Well, they got me on that one. Next time I'll be more prepared, though, right? So when they tell me that, you know, that's way too much, I can't afford that. They didn't, you know, well, it's only $1.50 a month, you know. That's a cup of coffee a month. You spend more of that, you know, or maybe the cup of coffee don't work. You know, if I don't win that one, then I try to find an objection, overcome that, another reason to overcome that objection. I mean, you know, get hungry for it. But that's why we're here. You know, we're here to, when they say no, that's what we're here for. And that's when the sales process starts for me. But I mean, I welcome it. You know, I love that, because I want to come back here next month and give this presentation again. And you say, hey, Cameron, I had this objection. How do I overcome it? I might not have the answer, but hey, let's figure that out. You know what I mean? I like the fact that you're getting objections, because that means you're pitching it. That means you're trying to sell it. You know, that is pretty much the majority of the reasons why people don't sell this. They don't offer it. They don't offer it. You
And
go.
that's probably the hardest thing I was telling Michaela, from our perspective, when customer service is handling that service call and the customer is expecting that something like an accident would be covered, like the candle wax, because she's out her investment and she needs to replace it. Had she had you know, accident protection she would be covered. And it's really hard from customer service standpoint to handle that call and say, well, if you had protection first, it would be covered, but I see that you don't have it. And for her, that customer to say, well, my salesperson never offered it, I would have gotten it. That is the hardest thing for us to hear. And I've heard it multiple times. So it is essential that you offer it, just for your own peace of mind, that, you know what, you put the ball in their court. And we have a line item on all of our tickets that say, accept or decline Pro First. It's just one more place to kind of clearly put on there. So 3 years later, when there's an issue, the customer knows, you know what, my salesperson offered it, I declined it. And it's on that ticket. We put that there for a safeguard.
They never offered it, and
Yep, they sure could. And they probably didn't offer it well if they didn't remember it.
Is this something that I could do when I call for deliveries?
Absolutely. If you didn't see it on there, and I would bonus you for it.
Okay.
Because if the
'Cause
salesperson...
I'm thinking, man, if they got till at least 4 days, 5 days after the sale,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm calling for deliveries, I can, you know, say, I see you didn't, you know, you don't have the protection first plan on here. Is that something that you have thought about?
Yeah.
I mean, because I know Daryl and we've heard quite a bit when we were down at the beach.
If they don't, and I will bonus you, Gigi, for that.
Okay. That
Right
way I
now
could
we
push
have
it.
we have a bonus set up because the original salesperson should be offering it. But if they don't, in my opinion, the delivery are free to offer it, and so are you.
I'm gonna tell you something. When I first started in this business, there was a girl named Michelle Neese that worked at the store that I worked at, and she just left. And what she was really good at is writing thank you cards to every single customer that she sold furniture to, and a personalized thank you card.
Goes a long way.
It goes a long way for referrals, but a phone call, just to say, hey, how's your furniture? How did delivery go? Just to call and check in on them. Nobody is doing that out there. I guarantee you there's no other salesperson out there doing that. I guarantee you. I got over 50 stores that I call on. I guarantee you no other salespeople are doing that. That alone would set you apart. And that would give you another tool to say, hey, how about that protection plan that we talked about? Just sprinkle it in, because you're caring, you're investing in them, and saying, hey, I care about you. I care about how your furniture. I cared enough to sell you this furniture. I care enough to check on it to make sure that it's okay and that your delivery went well. You might get something that comes back that says, hey, we had a problem. Great. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I want to make sure we get you taken care of, because at the end of the day, we care about you. And I care about your investment as well. And that's why I want to make sure that it's covered for 5 years. I mean, I guarantee you nobody out there is doing that. That alone takes 5 minutes at the end of your sale. Michelle would do it. She would, at the very end of the sale, she had all their information right there in front of her. Or at the end of the day, even. When I managed Ashley Furniture over here, I had a customer, a salesperson that did it all the time. At the end of the day, she would go in there and at the sales ticket. I mean, you got 3, 4 on a good day, maybe 5, 6 sales. How long is it going to take you to write a little thank you? Send it, and then call and check on it. That alone would increase your sales, I guarantee you.
And bring customers back to you.
And bring
for
customers,
resale.
friends, neighbors, relatives back to you.
That gives them the wow experience, the thing they can't get from buying online.
Right.
Or buying from our competitors. That's the difference that we provide, that wow experience, and the thank you card always does that.
I'm gonna tell you what I learned a long time ago in this business, and this is a quote that I will never forget. You make a sale, you make a commission. You make a friend, you make a fortune. So if you're just out here trying to make sales, you're gonna make a commission and you're gonna get paid, you'll be doing fine. You make a friend, they're gonna tell their friends, and then what they're gonna say is when they come in here, they're gonna say, hey, where's Lori at?
Yeah, don't know.
Well, I don't know who that is. I know you don't know who I am, but you sold furniture to yada, 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 and they told me to ask for you because you took good care of them, and you called after the sale, check on them, and they're real happy with their furniture. Or they had a huge problem, and you stepped up to the plate and helped them out. That's even a more, that's like the no. They tell you no. That's when you should get excited. That's why I'm here, because I'm not an order taker. Oh, I got a problem. I'm glad you called. Great. That's why I'm here, because I care enough about you to get your problem taken care of. I mean, anyway, that's off of the protection stuff, but so that's, any questions, anything that I can answer while I'm here? All right, cool. Y'all are easy. Smash waffles.
Smash waffles.
I do have one. I think I was asking Jill or Daryl. So, how does the protection plan percentage work off, like, your commission?
Okay, so
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, right now, and that's we handle that in house. That's not something that Cameron bonuses.
Sorry.
No, no, it's
No,
okay, but I can answer it. So basically, you get your straight commission, your 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top, every time you sell Pro First, you get an additional 5%
On your Pro First.
on your Pro First. So now at that point, every time you sell Pro First, you're really getting 10%. Then, and that's what I publish every week. That Tuesday when I put it up on Slack, that shows you that bi-weekly amount. Then each month, because our store goal, our standard is 4%. We want everybody to be a minimum at 4%. Our goal is to be at 6%. So, and if you're at 8, you're above our goal, so that hopefully we'll fall in that 6. So we actually bonus you out at the end of the month. If you have a percentage of, based on your percentage of sales, you can acquire additional bonuses.
Okay. Sure.
So, and we pay up to an additional, so you got the 10%. If you are over 8%, you can get 13 additional percent at the end of the month. So then we go back and calculate all that you had for that month and multiply it times that extra 13% because you've already gotten the 10. So you can get a total of 23% on that Pro First. We did the math on, what was it, a $4.99 Pro First, that at the end of the day, you made an extra, what was it, $65. That was for her, and she's not straight commission, so you actually make 3% more than that. So it is it's a huge moneymaker
I
for
see.
something you should be doing anyways. So now I do have that tiered. Under 2%, I don't pay you anything extra for the end of the month. I have like a chart. You'll see when I post it. It goes from like 2% to 3.99%, 3.99% to 5.99%, and then 5.99% to 7%, and then anything over 8 or 7.99, and then anything over 8 is at 13. So I have it broken down so you can get an extra 3%, extra 7%, extra 10%, extra 13%. I top out at 13. So potentially you can get 23%.
Right, because you're on top of your commission.
Yeah. So that month, and that's why you see Lynn and Stephanie every single month are well over 8%. Because they figured out the money that they can make, and they're making thousands of dollars. I mean, have you looked at their numbers?
No, that's why I was,
Thousands.
because it came up between me and Daryl, and that's why I was asking about it.
And it's nothing that they're doing anything special. Not that they're just awesome. I guarantee you, it's
Yeah, but
because
they're taking
offering
the
it.
time to really sell it,
What-
hardcore
They're
sell it.
introducing it continuously through the sales process. They're also not scared to offer it for the recommended amount that we have on that sheet. You know, we have kind of a guideline to pitch that. Some people I have noticed just get comfortable with $199. They sell at $199 if it's $4,000 or if it's $2,000. What Lynn and Stephanie do well is they take the recommended amount and that's what they don't deviate from that. It's like it's a delivery charge. That's exactly what it is. Where
And the person that's spending, I'm sorry to interrupt, the person that's spending $4,000 is going to be the person that's willing to spend more for a protection plan.
$400 or $500
Yeah.
for a protection.
Don't be scared of that person. That's the person you want to offer more. You could probably make more